This was in a bag. It has this inside of it. You'll get it out the length that you want accordingly.
How do you know what length you want?
Well, for me doing it so much, I know I want a little bit. I say a little bit over an inch, probably.
Okay.
And that way you got adjustment room, because this is actually the barrel that your needle goes through.
Okay.
And then it'll be able to adjust out for the length of the needle hooked on there and while you're holding it.
Oh.
So this, you've seen them that I brought over before.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You'll know what I'm talking about once you see it.
Yeah, it's snapping a little bit.
I always put the screws where I can look at them, because they will vibrate loose, because that thing's just hammering like crazy. And once they get worn out, and they do send you extra ones.
Right on.
There's 2 in there.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I didn't even know they had. Yeah, okay, right on.
And all the wrenches that fit everything, like they'll fit different, all the screws. So if you want to take the whole thing apart, you can tighten them up and loosen them all different sizes. Now that's your barrel.
Okay.
You'll want to clean this after, a tattoo, of course.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they'll wrap napkins around it and make it really, really fat so their hands don't cramp up from holding down, a little thing. Some people are used to a pin. They'll hold it, pull this all the way out, and hold it by the little part, like this.
I got you.
But what you do, that's ready to go, except for the needle.
Okay.
Look at that.
Do you want the needle? Okay.
Yes. Show me all the way.
This right here, that red thing and that black thing. And they shouldn't be different sizes, but if they are, it's all in a matter of, you can cheat without this and you don't have to use it, but it's always better to use those little grommets. And I don't remember, I used something one time. It looked like, see how it's shallow on the inside? Like if you took this piece and cloned it on that side, but it still had the slit in the middle. There's some of these grommets like that, and you'll see what I'm talking about, what they're used for. You want me to open one of these, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Are they all the same, by the way?
Yeah, they're all 5. They're all 5 round liners.
Okay.
And the way you tell that is RL is round liner, RS would be round shader, FS would be flat shader.
So all these are basically for doing straight lines that come with the kit.
You can shade with them, you can color with them, you can line with them. It's just like prison.
After you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's just like prison tattoo. They use one needle, but this is 5 of them, all scrunched to one point. That's a liner.
Okay.
Now a shader, they'll be like this, opened up. Instead of a point, they'll be opened up. That's a shader.
Okay.
The liners together, shader, and then there's flat, where there's like flat, and it's 4 needles flat. That way he knows all the information he can.
Okay, by the way, somebody texted.
I want to show this to customers, trust me.
Pause it for a second. If you don't have popsicle sticks,
So freaking smart, it's crazy.
if you don't have popsicle sticks, I usually have gloves on once I open this, but I'll save this, dip it in the Vaseline, and smear it down, so I'm using something new every time I get in the tub of Vaseline.
Why are you in a tub of Vaseline?
Because you have to wipe it over the skin before you start tattooing, so your glove don't stick to your skin.
After you have the design with
already
the paper,
stenciled on there. Then you can wipe Vaseline over it, and you can start lining, and that way your glove hand, gloves stick to your skin.
Okay, I got you.
And it'll slide, and that way it's not jumbly and shaky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
But you don't have to use that. Popsicle sticks are cheap and get them Dollar Tree, whatever.
I get what you're saying on that. I appreciate that.
But this, see how the needle is welded on the bottom?
Yes.
You want that on the bottom,
Okay.
not at the top. When it comes through the barrel, is what I'm saying. Like you want the bottom facing towards the bottom of the gun.
Okay.
This is the grommet. It just goes inside there. And that's what holds it on this.
Okay.
Right there.
All right.
That holds it on there. But there are different kinds. What I usually do, like some guns, they don't have this style. They have, it's like split in the middle here, and it's like a clamp. It's got 2 deals that you tighten up. This will fit through there though, so that's good. So what I do, so I don't get the needle dented with a burr, bent, or nothing, I will stick the needle through there, so it's all the way through. A lot of times with my glove, you can, if it's got a burr, you'll feel it pulling your glove. and that's not something you want to stick somebody with because it'll make a shitty tattoo. So what you do, get it through there, get this tight, or you know, semi-tight.
Right, okay, I see.
And once you're looking at it, like I said, you want that weld down. So
okay, yeah,
put the grommet on where
one
it's
you
facing
said.
down.
Okay, I got you.
And once you get it, like if you have to bend this hook open, some guns are like that. Like this pedestal is bigger, you may have to bend it open a little bit or pinch it closed, depending on what needle. That just
okay. And the gasket on the bottom.
It'll go right over it.
Okay, right
it's on there. It's
right on.
And now what you'll need is a rubber band.
Now let me show that.
Okay, I'm gonna show. And then it will go around the main part of the tattoo gun.
What's that for?
To hold it down on that.
The needle.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Because the needle, it doesn't go all the way in.
Mm-hmm.
It won't ever go deep in here.
Mm-hmm.
But you want it to go back into the tip because you don't want it that far coming out.
Mm-hmm.
What I do when I set it, I push this all the way forward to where it's touching the magnet, loosen it, and adjust the tip so I know that's the full stroke of the needle going all the way out. When I let go, it'll go back. Let me tighten it down. Once I got it where I want it, then when I let it go, you don't see the needle.
No,
this is a brand new spring,
right on.
so
the needle sunk back in a little bit.
yeah,
I get
it's
it.
sunk back in.
Okay.
But you can test it by looking.
But you want the needle just right at the end, not too far in. Not
Yeah,
too
you don't
far
want it. It's never going to go way up there where it'll
No,
bend,
yeah, just
but
just to the end, yeah. Okay.
you gauge it by, because you're looking at the needle, you're not going to watch the tip. So as I'm doing the skin, you don't want to look at this tip. You want to watch the needle itself going into the skin. You don't want to look at the tip because that means once it comes out, it's going all the way deep in you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that.
Mm-mm.
You want to watch that and go about half of the needle.
About that much? Show that again.
Half of that.
About half of that?
Yeah, just barely in there.
When you're actually tattooing?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Once
so
it's
now
going.
you need to adjust it again right now.
No, it's good to go, but
Okay.
you don't want to bear. What I'm saying is, you don't want to push this
All the way
into
to
the
the end.
skin. You want to
Okay.
look at the needle and not the tip.
Yeah.
While you're
and
tattooing.
you don't push the tip to the end. And
No, because you'll be burying that needle all the way into.
And what would that do to your skin?
It'll probably make scars.
Scar
like,
you. It'll just scar you.
I don't know if I have some.
That's
of
okay.
them,
Okay, I understand. Let's keep going.
But it's ready to be hooked up.
Okay, I got you.
This is your. I don't know what the technical stuff is, but this will make it go hit harder and faster. And then you also have the adjustment.
When would you want to make it to go faster, and when would you want to make it
between
to go
lining
slower?
and shading?
Okay, all right.
The
Makes sense.
faster.
Faster lining.
Faster would be lining, and the slower and heavier would be the shading. You know, adding the color in. From what I done, you know, I'm. There's not a lot of videos out there that tell you.
Okay.
But I'm gonna take it apart, and that way you can see.
Okay,
You can
but
put
as
it
far as
together.
this goes, everything you just showed me, you're other than power supply, you're ready to go.
Well, I mean, you will be doing a little adjusting right here because it is a
And
brand
the
new
little
gun.
adjusting right here does what?
That is
The length of the needle.
no. It
What?
helps with the strike of the. It does also what the box does with the speed and how hard the needle hits.
Okay, so that helps adjust the
Right.
speed.
If this is backed all the way off, it's not even going to push or pull it because
Okay, yeah.
it gets electric
Okay, so
going up there.
when
This
you go
pulls
up-
it, and this pulls it. That pushes it to
Okay.
it, and then it reverses it. You know, with
Okay,
the
so
electrics
depending on
just
how far and
real
out this
quick.
thing goes is how far and fast for shading and lining.
Yeah, you'll have to have
Okay, I got you.
it touching. A lot of guys will use, I think, a dime, and have it once it's all the way where you want it. They'll have a dime in between it, or whatnot.
Okay,
And
I got
I
you.
just go off feel and
Okay.
listening to it.
Okay.
I don't know the right thing, but once you get that where you want it, you want to tighten this back down because it'll vibrate out, or it'll vibrate closer, and your gun will just sit there locked up and buzz. But
Okay. Now what?
I start showing.
Okay. Right.
Whenever you plug this in and your pedal in, they both have the guitar style plug-in, and it doesn't matter which one you plug them in.
Doesn't matter which one of
You
those?
can put them in either one,
Okay.
and they'll both run. This is your interrupter. It's interrupted now, and once you step on it, it starts the machine. which we'll show you in just a
Contact.
second.
Yeah, it's a contact.
So, let me get this piece out of the way.
Oh, you took the needle out?
Yeah, I put it in there. I was gonna break it down in a minute. That way you can set it up.
Is there
and
still
you
a needle
know.
in there?
Yeah, it's still
Oh,
in there.
okay. I thought this was.
That way,
Oh, never mind. Okay.
both of them get plugged in. There's a hole here and a hole there. If it doesn't work, you may have to scrape off some of the paint, but I've never had to do that. Just so it gets a good contact.
Right on.
It's got a spring in there. It holds it. Once
Uh-huh.
this is turned on, you'll see it. I'd start it off about 10, and that way
What's it go to?
it might go to triple digits. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
You'll burn
10,
it up.
10's average. Okay.
But every time, that starts it and stops it.
Right on. Okay.
See the needle.
It's going too fast to tell, but it's going not inside, but right to the.
To the tip of it.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
And that's what I say. Once it starts going, because it's brand new and this is broke in, you may have to adjust it a couple times.
Okay.
Get it down to where it'll go back. And that also could be, I don't run a rubber band right here. You can, you don't have to, but that's to keep it spaced out. But that's pretty fast. I would line with that. Now my gun's a little older. I run it on around 13. I just want to see what it hears. Let's see what it sounds like. See, you hear that noise? That's a little too close because it's not vibrating enough. And you'll do that, and as you do that, it backs it away from these coils. Maybe too much. Yeah, that's too much. It's this foot pedal for a reason, but that way y'all can see.
Yeah, I'm a little confused with what's going on right now, but
He's just trying to adjust it.
yeah. And do you go by sound on the adjusting?
I do, but
Yeah,
I mean, it just depends on.
Well, yeah, I get this
I've
part
done it
too,
for
but
a
I'm
while.
kind of like him with hearing on a lot of things I do. It just sound.
There it goes. See how that's too close and it stops it?
Okay, I can hear you speeding up.
Oh, it's talking about right there. And you can adjust it here.
Okay, after you get it to this, you adjust this. Okay, I get it.
And that's, I'm making it go by holding that down. But running
You wanna
around
test on me real quick?
between 10 and 12, there's no ink, but that's okay.
Okay, but pretend there was ink. Let's go to that part. These are your capfuls of ink.
Yeah. Suck up your ink in there.
You're to the point where this happens now, right?
Yeah. You would suck up your ink there. Get it out. I usually wipe the tip off with a napkin or something before I go to, and then you want to spread your skin out, because when you're spreading it out, it fills in every crevice because your
Okay, I got
skin's
you.
elastic.
Makes sense.
And that way it's a fuller line, a better design. It's better, like you get the 1080 or whatever TV and you go from 720 to 1080, it's a lot clearer, crisper,
I understand.
But that's what it'd be, you'd start the tattoo with that from there. But
Right on. Easy setup, man.